really excited actually today to be able to talk to you around what we've got planned for Olympic Week. Olympic Week starts next week and also coincides with National School Sport Week. I wanted to give you a little bit of a background around what SASP is, in case you didn't know. It stands for Somerset Activity and Sports Partnership. We've been working with lots of schools for over 10 years, providing support for high quality PE, and we're working to support active learning in schools as well. And we recognise that the important role that UTAs play in primary schools, and with the current situation in schools around supporting those bubbles, we've been really glad that we've hopefully been able to provide you with some fun and straightforward social distance activities. So with that in mind, we'll move forward through what we've got planned for next week. Olympics are supposed to be in Tokyo. Obviously that's been postponed, but the Olympics as a theme is a really unmissable opportunity to engage children with the power of sport beyond just performance sport. So what we've done is we've tried to pull together a programme that is active, fun, learning experience, and we'll touch on culture, sport, as well as the Olympic values. So for the Key Stage 1 resources, we've followed the format that we've been working on for the past few weeks. So we still have the return of the Troglets and Sneezy, and we'll explore the core Olympic values. And those are around friendship, courage, determination, equality and fair play, and excellence, which we're interpreting as our own talents, and inspire and the power of yet, which I'm sure most of you have come across before. We've put together quite a lot of resources to support what we're going to do, but I wanted just to share with you a couple of them if we can. Okay, so one of the activities that you will find is around flags, and obviously flags links into countries and the Olympics. And this flag fun we're going to use as a maths activity, and it says that the flag is the flag of the Troglets, and it asks them to find various shapes and to record down how many they can find. And then there's a space for them to create their own flag using the shapes that are there. And so, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to have a lot of fun with that and maybe talk about flags of the world. There's obviously, you can do various fractions and things like that that links into flag fun. So yeah, that's that one. And another one we've come up with is to shake it out. This is, I think, hopefully quite a fun one. What I want you to do is to get some sort of bucket or a trug or something like that to hold some equipment. And it doesn't really matter what the equipment is. You're going to count the various objects into the trug and then shake it very vigorously so some fall out. And then I'm going to work with the children to work out how many are left in a part whole programme. Hopefully that one makes sense. Another one that we've got links to a race to 20. So on this race to 20 game, they will work with a partner, and the advice is to set out some hoops, but it could be anything that counts as a target, using different colours to represent different points. They're going to take it in turns to try and get to a target, either with a ball or a beanbag or something that you choose to use. When they get a certain point, they run back and colour in one of those blocks on their sheet, and they're going to try and see how quickly they can get to 20. So the first of their pair to get to 20 is going to be the winner, and then they can move on and have another battle against somebody else. And then throughout all of the week, we're going to have a minute to win it challenge. In the lesson plans in Key Stage 1, it suggests doing a star jump, but if you want to do something different, that's absolutely fine. What we want them to do on day 1 is to count the number of jumps they can do in a timed minute. You can do it all together if you want to do it really quickly, but it's also fun to maybe do it in pairs or small groups and then have everybody else watch. And you can also, I've given in the lesson plan some examples of maybe who's counted fairly, maybe who's encouraged others, and those sorts of things are in there. So then each day they're going to have another go and see if they can beat the target that they had the day before, because that represents their own personal best. So yeah, they're some of the Key Stage 1 resources. There's lots more obviously on the site that you should have the link to, and I've included it later on in the presentation as well. I'm going to hand over to Luke, who's going to talk through the Key Stage 2 side.
Hello everybody. I hope everyone's well. If there's any questions that anyone wants to ask or go through, just feel free to fire in. If it's easier than using the chat box, and I'll try and answer as best I can. So, sort of bit of background from me. So I was kind of in your situation not that many years ago as a teaching assistant, and then I've worked as a HLTA in a couple of schools across Somerset, and primarily based in PE. And I'm kind of new to SASP. I started in December, and enjoying it much. So, and I really took a lot of enjoyment in actually putting this together. Which is really, really nice. So I've tried to bring together a kind of similar. I don't want to just focus on the values, because I think some of the older children are maybe aware of that. So we've tried to kind of make it almost like it's an Olympic week, where we have we're tying in and learning on prior knowledge constantly each day. So we're going to start off with learning about the opening ceremony and sort of the torch relay. Why is that done? What does it symbolise? And you can touch kind of quite a bit on equality. And some sort of and some of the Olympic values on this. Then we're day 2 going to look at doing some Olympic values. So going through the values that are the focus of Key Stage 1 across the week. And then we're going to look at some of the different sports, because there's loads of different sports that are competed in both the Olympic and Paralympic Games. So I thought it'd be quite nice to do that, and it gives the children also the opportunity to create some of their own athletes and play kind of like a top trumps type game with them outside physically. So and I'll go through that one in probably a little bit more detail if anyone would like me to. Then we're going to look at our personal best, and we're going to it's almost, I like to think it's a bit more of a like sports day themed activity on the Thursday. So we're kind of looking at maybe completing our own Olympics, and then looking at kind of working out averages of our score, but it's kind of all centered around personal best, which is really, really nice. And it's come from an idea called the Sock Olympics. So you could get the children to bring a pair of socks in for this one, or they could use a bean bag. And then on Friday, or the 5th day, I thought it'd be nice to tie everything they've learned from the week into a project. So you could make this a competition in your school, depending on how many bubbles you've got in or how many kids you've got working. But the idea is that they kind of bring together everything we've learned. And all the props they might have created, like the Olympic torches and things like that, and kind of tie everything in quite nicely together. And hopefully they would have learned quite a lot about the Olympics. Nancy,
next slide. Yeah.
Slide, yeah. So I'm just going to talk through, this is day 2, one of the lesson plans. So this is working at looking at the values and kind of the history of the Olympics as well. So there's a presentation for this one. And obviously the way the lesson plans are structured is there's obviously a starter, so that's more of a discussion-based task. I mean, I'm a big advocate for discussion. I think allowing children to talk and discuss is how people learn best and how you get the best out of things. I think if you apply that into when we work at SASP, we always come up with things best when we've had a discussion and talked about it. So I try and promote that as much as we can throughout the week. There'll be a nice little starter activity, which is obviously discussion-based. And then we move into on this day the presentation, so just to give them a bit of knowledge about what's sort of what the Olympics is about, and it's kind of focused mainly on Rio, and then if we move on, Nancy, for me. So
I was just going to say the presentation, if you haven't got access to that, we've got a PDF, haven't we, that they can use.
Sorry, Nancy, you cut out there when I was talking.
Did I? I was just going to say the presentation. If you haven't got access to a computer, we've got it on a PDF, haven't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, next slide.
Okay, so so once you've gone through the presentation, it just gives a bit of knowledge about Rio as a specific city, and it quite nicely looks at like the socio-economical kind of situation that's there, and then it kind of finishes on past cities, the most recent past cities for both the Olympic and summer, and I guess it's kind of a bit of a research task, just to kind of look up a country. So I've suggested that maybe you could do this as a group and pick one of the cities and research together if you've only got access to, say, one computer, or specific books on certain of the host cities. But obviously, ideally, they can have their own device or own way of choosing the city they kind of want to focus on massively. They could do that. I've chucked in quite a lot of the SASP activities, the social distance games, because it's really important to make sure we're not having the children sat down for any more than about 30 minutes, and we want to try and get them active as much as we can. So do please try and, it might seem a bit kind of bit party, but from my experience in the past, once the children get used to that, they actually engage better with the content when they're sat down ready to listen. And also we'll be touching into little breaks that if you didn't want to take the children outside for too long, or the weather is like it is today, obviously you can do these challenges inside in the classroom. And yeah, you move on for me, please, Nancy. And then, yeah, just to sort of finish off, I'm not going to go into too much detail of the main activity, but there's some on this one. It's really nice. There's some physical activities to talk about some of the values of the Olympics. So hopefully you'll find them quite beneficial, and they're all explained on the resources attached to this lesson plan as well. If you don't have or can't find the resources, then obviously my email's open all week. So if you just email me, I can send direct to you if you would like. And then finishing off, a lot of it's question and answered. Again, just stimulating that discussion, because I just find discussion is the best way of getting out their thoughts and feelings for most of the children. And if we go on to the next one, Nancy, I think.
That's right. So now I was just going to highlight that in order for you to access the physical activities that we've got, social distance physical activities, we have got them direct on the SASP website as well, if that's easier, as well as the support services for education website. So I just wanted to highlight that we've got those there. On that, we've got a resource link that will have the video play within the task card, just to make it really easy to understand what's meant by the task card. Rather embarrassingly, you're going to watch a couple of videos of me now explaining them to you, which, yeah, is going to be a bit tough for me to watch. It's horrible hearing your own voice, but here we go.
This is a really great activity for Olympic week. This is called Follow the Leader Opening Ceremony. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to have one of you to go first, and the rest of you are going to be marked on your cones, and you're going to go 2 by 2, making sure you've got lots of space. Now your teacher's going to show you the outside of where your opening ceremony parade is going to go, and that equals 1 lap. Okay, now you get 1 lap to choose how you want to move your opening ceremony. Okay, so you can march, even better if we've got some music, everyone. We can maybe hold our torches up really high. We can wave to the crowd. That's it. We can maybe even be jumping with excitement, or are you having a little dance to the music, however you like to move. We're going to do 1 whole lap, and when we get back to those positions, you're going to swap out the leader, and somebody else is going to have a go to lead the opening ceremony around your school field.
Okay, that's hard to watch, guys. So there's a really lovely one, just a really, really super simple idea of having an open ceremony. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm going to speak again. Let me move to the next one.
This is called Follow the
we've got a scavenger hunt.
This game is Olympic Scavenger Hunt. It's a bit of a game, categories, if you've ever played the board game. Okay, you're going to print out this categories card, which has all of the alphabet letters on there. Working in pairs, you're going to come up with different movements for each of the letters. Now, on the example, I've gone for L, long jump. If you write in long jump, you have to be able to show how you would move a long jump. So you're going to do the action. So for each one of these, you're going to go through and think of an action related to Olympics or sport, or however you want to do that, each and every one of those, or at least as many as you can. When the time's up, you're going to come back into your area, and you're all going to have a go at showing the action and the word that you had for each of these letters. Now, you'll get 1 point if you have an action or a sport that nobody else has for that letter. And I'm going to give you 2 points if you can use alliteration.
Okay, let me move on to the next one before I hear that again. So there's lots and lots of games. I think we've got 6 games on there, a range of Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 activities. And most of them are designed that they could be done inside, particularly given the weather that we have been having, where it's been so nice before. So yeah, lots of those games are on there, and they are all linked to the Olympic theme and really straightforward for you to do, hopefully. I'm going to hand over now to Hayley, who's going to show you another component of National School Sport Week for us and Olympic Week, and that's our school games challenges. Hayley, are you there?
Apologies, I was talking to myself for a minute then, I forgot to unmute myself. Hi everybody, so on Monday we're launching our new SASP Challenges website, and it's very simple. Teachers can sign up at school, or children can sign up at home, and they are personal challenges, and there's little videos to go with each challenge. So you click on a video, watch what you have to do, go away and practice the challenge, and then come back to say that you've completed it. We thought it'd be ideal to do in your groups of your 15 bubbles. So there are some gymnastics challenges on there. I think Nancy's seen this, is put up the slide. So for example, the tuck pike straddle, they might be able to watch the video, and there are some teaching points that are on there, very basic ones. And then the children go out on the grass to practice their tuck, their pike, their straddle and their shapes. And once they've completed, you can come back on the website and you can just click how many children have completed the challenges. Once they've done 2 challenges, that earns them a bronze certificate. And again, you can print those off and put their names in for those they can achieve. And also they can go home and encourage their parents to log on, because they can practice the challenges at home and download the certificates at home as well. So there is a bit of a video going on next, Nancy, if you got that one in that explains the site. Welcome to the SASP Challenges website, saspchallenges.co.uk. This brings you to the home page. If you scroll down, you can see the challenges, or you can find them here on the left-hand side. If we go to the gymnastics challenges, it will prompt you to log in or register. To register, please use your school email address. Once we've registered, we log in. And if you are a teacher, it asks you to register your school if you haven't done so already. So you can add your school. And now you are the administrator for that school. Then if we go to the challenges, we can see the school results and all the challenges there. So the challenges are on 3 levels: explore, develop and conquer. Explore are those that are new to the activity. Develop if they do the activity perhaps in school, and conquer is if they belong to a club. So if we were doing the explore, challenge 1, each of the challenges has a video to show you how to do it and explains what it is. Once the children have attempted the challenge, and you're happy that they've all had a go at tuck pike straddle, you can click on how many students have taken part and press submit. You can then go back to your results, or you can go on to the next challenge. So if we do the next challenge, which is rock a boat, and again 10 children completed it, we can now see that we've got 20 points, which means that we can download bronze certificates with a gap to put the children's names for all those children that have successfully completed 2 challenges. There are also silver awards for when you have 40 points and gold awards when you have 60 points. If you wanted to see how many children were taking part in challenges at home, you need to first register as a teacher and have your score onto the site. So if we wanted to see the children that were taking part at home, you can see here at the moment I've got 1 participating child, and we can go down and we can see that's Lenny. So only you as the school administrator can see the names of the children taking part. So we can have a look at our challenges now. You can see that the 20 that we added also includes Lenny's 1. And then we can see the school table here, 21 certificates in Explore. Okay, so that's it. So we're piloting gymnastics, fitness and cricket, and we'd like any feedback that anyone's got about the challenges. We've got lots and lots of ideas of different challenges that we can put on there. In terms of the school login, so one teacher needs to log in with an email address and a very simple password, and then share that around to staff who will be using, because it's just one login per school.
That's great. Well, yeah. Thanks, Hayley. And also to say, because again, in case you need to take this out onto the field or outside, we have done a PDF and there's an example there of what we put together. That's also in the resource pack for you. We'd hope that if you come in, if you go and do it outside, that you do come in and register the participants, because I think it's a really lovely way of us being able to see what you're taking part in and for the children to access those certificates. And like Hayley said, those other challenges around cricket and fitness-based challenges are also going to be on there for you to do beyond then. I've just popped up again. I'm sure you've all got these links, but these are the links to the Education Support Services site and the Challenges website and to our own website there.